The Land Stewardship Project provides information to farmers and ranchers in the Chippewa watershed on how to improve grazing management, build soil health, and increase profit. This preserves and improves grassland for wildlife and helps more farmers raise livestock on the land. With our Chippewa 10% partners, we are building bridges between farmers, public land managers, and recreational landowners, which will increase access to grazing land for farmers and improve grassland for cattle, for wildlife, and for the whole community.
We purchased 320 acres here in 1979. Pretty much all bare acres, a fence around 1/4, and the rest was a crop field. And everything here we built since that time, with the exception of an old barn that we remodeled and added on to. We've been raising Angus cattle for nearly 40 years. In 1997 we brought the first lowline cattle here from Australia. They come through Canada, and some of the first lowline calves in the country were born on the ranch here. We've been trying to expand. My son's coming home, and land prices, especially for grazing land, were such that it really wasn't an economical factor to try and pay for land grazing cattle. So we figured the best thing to do was to improve the land we had. So we put in a K-line irrigation system where we can irrigate about 60-70 acres of our pastures here, and then also added another center pivot on our winter ground where we winter our cows. But we feel we can probably increase production by 3 to 4 times, if not more, with more intensive grazing. We've got this 60 acres split into 11 paddocks, and then we've got another 70-80 acres of dryland pasture that's also split into 9 paddocks. So we're able to rotate and graze and with interseeding really improve our production here. And probably have done a lot more than we could have buying land by far. A lot of the conservation agencies procured a lot of land but really didn't manage a lot of it, and a lot of land in this country that's really good grass, good cattle country was standing idle. And now with the new generation of agency administrators and their belief that cattle can help improve that agency land, it's really a win-win opportunity for both the agencies and the cattlemen in this entire area that can give their pastures a chance to rest, utilize some of the agency land, and improve the agency land as well as their own. It's a great partnership. So much of that land sat idle for so many years, and really the native species were mostly gone or certainly depleted. So it's great to see an opportunity where we can use our cattle to clean that ground up and give the native grasses a chance to come. And working with the agencies, we've been able to remove a lot of invasive species, destroy a lot of cedars and sumac and box elder that had invaded the pastures, and create a better environment for not only ourselves but for the public, for hunting and for wildlife.
The reason we've seen such a dramatic loss of native prairie is because there always have been, and still are, many reasons to convert native prairie to other uses. But there's just one main reason that we have any amount of native prairie left today, and that's because certain people made the decision that they value prairie more than one more crop field, gravel pit, building site, or in some cases a forest of cedars or other trees. These include livestock producers, recreational landowners, and those who support native wildlife habitat on public lands. In some cases, private landowners actually understand that they are responsible for something that's irreplaceable. However, most prairie landowners simply understand that their way of life is completely dependent on the prairies around them. We like to say that those who value the prairie must work together to keep the sod right side up. They might be diverse stakeholders, but they share a lot in common. Until recently, they shared an unspoken vision for what the landscape around them should look like. Here in western Minnesota, they're coming together to restore and protect what native prairies remain, and therefore all of those things that come along with it.
We found here, when we first bought the place, there was about 30 acres of native grass that had never been broke, but there wasn't much native there. There was a lot of bluegrass and brome, and So we gave it a rest one year just to see what was there. We burned it that spring, and there was just a huge flush of wildflowers and big and little blue stem cytosphagnum grasses you never really saw before because of overgrazing and invading species. So, and those grasses produce better in hot weather than any of the cultivars. So I think there's just not only a big potential but a necessity to use native pastures, improve native pastures, and use them in your rotations.